Welcome to another season of exciting stock car racing as the 2006 CASCAR Super Series Tour heats up. 22 CASCAR late models are ready to get it on here at the Barrie Speedway Bull Ring.
The greatest racing series in the nation has descended upon this tight 1/3 mile concrete speedway cage. Like all short tracks, this one punishes equipment, taxes a team's nerves, and pushes a driver's patience beyond the limit. Old adages like to finish first you must finish, and you have to be good to be lucky, and lucky to be good hold true here at Barrie. Today, these short track warriors clash for the first time on their way towards the 2006 CASCAR Super Series Championship. This is the GoRacing.ca 300 from Barrie Speedway. Hello and welcome. I'm Dave Bradley, along with veteran CASCAR racer Billy Rouse Jr. and trackside is Adam Ross. Now, Billy, this first 250-lap feature takes place at an awfully tough place to tame.
Well, Barrie Speedway has been reconfigured. It's a very fast 1/3 mile oval. They call it a D shape now, but it's still close confinement, short track racing. Got to trust your equipment. You're going to have to listen to the spotter in this race because you know what? It's so fast you can't look in the mirror and you can't be looking around. You better trust what he says and take it easy on the equipment.
One of those guys who knows when to go and knows when to stay back is five-time CASCAR Series champion Don Thompson Jr. Now, Don is a guy who knows how to save his equipment.
Oh, no question about it. He's made his career out of being consistent. It's a well-funded team, too, by the way. You know, that Home Hardware Chevrolet is well-funded. But, you know, he works on the equipment himself. He knows exactly what it takes to win. And I'll tell you, he knows when to go, and he knows when to sit back when things aren't going just quite right.
Another one of those drivers very successful towards the latter part of the 2005 season was DJ Kennington, and DJ's with our very own Adam Ross.
DJ, Billy, and Dave were just commenting about how Don Thompson's built a career out of consistency. Last year, you stole the show, but a few DNFs cost you in the Castrol point standings. What's your long-term game plan for dethroning Donnie, and what's your immediate plans for tonight's race?
Well, you know, we've all been trying to dethrone Donnie for 5 years, but we haven't succeeded yet. And he is Mr. Consistency, and he's fast everywhere he goes. There he is again today, starting off on the pole. So, I mean, our Castrol Dodge is awesome. I think we're in good shape. It's the same car as the end of last year, and we're going to try to keep our nose clean today and try to be there at the end of the race. If we can be there at the end, then we'll take our fair run at Donnie, I promise you.
Well, DJ will start third in tonight's race. Starting up front is so important at a tight little track like Barrie Speedway, and it was Don Thompson out of Ayr, Ontario, who captured the pole at a time of 14.313 seconds, set a track record at an average speed of 75.456 miles an hour. Don, it's been a long weekend so far. What's your plan for today?
Well, we're going to take it easy. We know it's a little tight racetrack. You know, don't want to tear the fenders off. We got to try to save something for the end of the race. But nice, cool day. Great day for a drive. Got to thank the fans for coming today. It's a little chilly one. We're getting a little bit cold here today. But Home Hardware Chevy, hopefully it'll be up front at the end.
Well, Don Thompson definitely where he wants to be to start this race at Barrie Speedway.
Well, that's exactly right, Adam. That's exactly where you want to start, right up front on the pole and pick up those very important points.
Well, it doesn't matter which racetrack we're at. You always want to start up near the front, so qualifying is paramount in CASCAR racing. But, you know, you can come from the back, but you just got to be very, very patient. Look how cold it is here today. Tire management shouldn't be an issue, but then again, because of the tire temperatures being so cold, you're going to work that right front very, very hard. So if you're at the back, you better take your time because you got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Well, don't go away because when we come back, we're going to warm things up on the track. We'll fire up the engines for the start of the 2006 CASCAR Super Series season. Welcome back to round number one of the 2006 CASCAR Super Series. The GoRacing.ca 300 is brought to you by Castrol. Syntec outperforms all other leading motor oils. Mopar, authentic performance. Home Hardware, health is close to home. And Locals Auto Parts, home of the 1-year parts and labor warranty.
Well, a brand new season about to get underway. There's a beautiful brand new Dodge Charger RT, 400 plus horsepower. It's getting ready to lead these 22 racers to the green flag.
Well, track owner Brad Moran gave the order to start your engines just a moment ago. The 09 there with Kent Noon, a seasoned racer vying for Rookie of the Year honors here in CASCAR. 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr., the Mopar Dodge, as Don Thompson Jr. leads the field away. Here's the Leland starting grid with Thompson on the pole alongside a guy that's been fast all weekend long, Doug Brown in the Napa Auto Pro Chevy. There's DJ Kennington. He'll roll off in the third spot inside of row number 2 alongside Kerry Mix. J.R. Fitzpatrick with a strong qualifying. He'll start inside row 3 alongside Brad Graham. Rod Beauchamp Jr. will go beside the local boy, Mark Dilley, in the number 9 Dodge. Then it's Dave Whitlock starting inside of row 5. Scott Steckley, strong qualifying as well. He'll roll off 10th. Peter Gibbons struggled a little bit in qualifying here alongside Jeff Lapsevich this afternoon. Row 7 brings us Dave Jacobs and John Fitzpatrick, who crashed hard in practice. 2 rookies make up row number 8, Kent Noon, Jason Hathaway. And then in row number 9 comes Ron Van Ness, sophomore season, and Derek Lynch, track promoter down at Kawartha Downs. Joe Gonzalez in the 93 in row number 10 alongside Jim Lapsevich. And row number 11, local boy Ron Lethbridge and Sean McGlynn round out the field of 22 starters here this afternoon for round number 1 at Barrie Speedway, the CASCAR Super Series.
Well, Dave, we'll take a look at the locals race analysis. We got 22 cars here today on a very tight 1/3 mile oval. They're going to go 250 laps, and it's a very cold and cloudy 8 degrees Celsius.
Cars by our speed camera on the front straightaway. Here's Adam with more on today's frigid temperatures.
The weather's been an issue all weekend long. The track temperature was just taken by the Whitlock crew, 65 degrees. That's extremely cold on the asphalt. Not only are these drivers scrubbing their tires to build heat in them, some of them actually dragging the brake pedal to build heat up in the brake pads as well. This will be a story to follow.
A big story for sure, especially in the opening laps. You got to have heat in the brakes. You got to have heat in the tires, and at these temperatures, it's going to be tough to do. A lot of slipping and sliding.
Dodge Charger pace car is in. Don Thompson Jr. and Doug Brown on the front row. Coming out of corner number 4 to the green flag, and we are underway in the 2006 season of the CASCAR Super Series. Billy, there's a good example of cold tires right into corner number 1.
Slipping and sliding. The veteran Don Thompson drove it in there deep. Thing wouldn't stick real tight. Brownie's on the outside. He's an excellent cushion. We're under caution for the first time.
Lap number 1, and it is the rookie, the 09 of Kent Noon and the 25 of Lapsevich. They go around, and that's going to draw the first caution of the afternoon.
Well, let's take a look at the Mopar replay from Van Ness's car. You can see as they go into the corner, oh, he checks up, and he gets whacked from behind, and around he goes. Now, these two did have a little bit of problems in the 50-lap qualifier. I'm not saying it is, but it could have been restitution.
Yeah, it could have been, as the 25 of Lapsevich, an innocent bystander in that one, heads to the pits for some cosmetic repairs. As you take a look at the upcoming schedule for this season in the CASCAR Super Series, you'll see we'll return here to Barrie Speedway, Canada Day long weekend for 300 laps that weekend, and it should be a dandy. This tight tri-oval is one to watch here. It's the Bristol of the North, many are calling it, because it's so close. Coming back to green, Don Thompson Jr. leader after just a couple laps in the books, many under caution. Thompson leading the 10 of Doug Brown and the 17 to DJ Kennington early on.
Well, it's good to see Brownie run up front like this. He's been trying to run the whole schedule for a couple years now. Mom and pop operation. His dad was a very good racer in his own right back in the 60s.
The Napa Auto Pro Chevy has been solid all day, even in practice the past couple days here at Barrie Speedway. Has been top of the timesheets. Is a good look at DJ Kennington, looking for a championship run this year. He said that is his main goal. Wants to win races, wants to win the championship, as he's in a good dogfight with the 02 of Kerry Mix.
Wow, a pair of Ironmen going at it. DJ, the reigning Ironman, Kerry Mix, without a sponsor, Dave, he's going to have to pick it up here, trying to attract some attention so he can run the whole schedule.
That's right, Billy. Mix did attract the attention of a local sponsor, Two-Time Recycling Disposal Services, on the rear quarter panel of the 02 car here this weekend. Talked to Ron Woods. He says he's thinking of supporting the 02 team and a couple other dates this season. We'll have to see how that plays out. Now that a little deeper in the field for 16th, Derek Lynch underneath the 11 of Ron Van Ness, and Lynch going to run a handful of races with us here this season.
Well, you can see Derek grabbing a whole handful of steering wheel there. The car's got what we call a push in it. That's when you turn the wheel and the car doesn't quite turn, so you got to turn it some more.
So you can see the 11 of Van Ness fighting that wheel as he comes out of 4, obviously an ill-handling race car early in the race.
Well, just like we talked about in the opening, the spotter is going to be very important here, and you heard Mixie's and DJ's spotters telling him what was going on around him on the racetrack.
You saw Kennington body slam the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick as well as he forced his way back down into the spot as Mix takes over third place. Now on board with Ron Beauchamp Jr. in the Mopar Dodge as he sends a sign on the 84, the brand new sponsor on the Fitzpatrick team, Milwaukee Tools.
Well, young J.R. Fitzpatrick, just a phenom. This young fella, as he gets older and more experienced, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with all year long.
One of the other phenoms last year we saw, P.D. Shepard, off and on in the CASCAR, signed a deal with Roush Racing, and Fitzpatrick and Shepard, very good friends, so we'll see how that works out for those two as they try to further their careers.
Well, there's the Whitlock bunch right there, the 9 and the 39. They're battling for 8th position.
And Mark Dilley, the winner of the July race last year here at Barrie Speedway, looking to mark another win in his record book in that number 9 Dodge as he battles teammate Dave Whitlock right on his back bumper, staying very tight here at Barrie Speedway.
Now right behind him, the 22, Scott Steckley. That's the Erb group. This is his first race with a Dodge.
And a brand new McCall chassis underneath him as well, with Ron Beauchamp senior power under the hood as well. And Steckley has been pretty strong early on this race.
Well, that Beauchamp horsepower, that's like having Robert Yates horsepower. Those cars handle real good down the straightaway.
Peter Gibbons poking his nose up in that battle as well as you take a look at Don Thompson Jr. in the Home Hardware Chevy, now starting to put laps on the back markers of this field. Joe Gonzalez in the 93 as Doug Brown ducks a nose underneath the 4. He's looking for the lead, going through 3 and 4, bumping it, grinding as Mix takes to the high side. Brown will battle him off, hold on to second, and now go to the outside of Gonzalez, but Doug Brown looking racy early on.
Well, Mixie, with local knowledge of the racetrack, pretty near pinned him on the bottom, but couldn't get it done.
With Don Thompson Jr. leading in the Home Hardware Chevy, we'll return to Barrie in a moment. Welcome back to CASCAR Super Series Racing and our first of 11 national races. I'm Dave Bradley along with Billy Rouse Jr. and Adam Ross is pit side. And there's Doug Brown under some pressure now with the 0-2 of Kerry Mix going to the high side. And Mix does know this track with 206 laps remaining. He's looking to go to the front.
Well, Mixie's trying to make that outside groove work, and if you get up off the bottom about 4 or 5 feet and keep the car hooked up. Oh, Whitlock and Dilley battling 3 wide down the back stretch into turn 3. McGlynn's going to be the pivot. Contact. Dilley moves him out of the way. Whitlock's going to try and slide through on the outside. Here comes Steckley on the bottom.
Dilley telling McGlynn, I want to go right now, and he gets underneath the 39 car of Whitlock, and Scott Steckley is going to follow him up through as well. So Steckley taking advantage of Dilley's chrome horn to get the 18 out of the way. Steckley moves up. Whitlock goes back to still your lead of the Home Hardware Chevy of Don Thompson Jr. well out in front as he continues to work lap traffic. That's your second place car, the 10 of Doug Brown, followed by Kerry Mix, and Mix has been working the back bumper of the 10 car for a number of laps as a couple of the back markers trade paint, trying to get up underneath each other.
While lap cars side by side, Lynch gives him a little rub job down the front stretch. Donnie's got to be careful, can't cut a tire down this early in the race.
Lap traffic playing a big role. Do you expect it to play a big role all day long here?
Absolutely. Short track race. Hey, there's DJ Kennington. He gets Mixie down on the inside. Lap cars all over the place. It's wild.
And DJ Kennington also looking to get up underneath the 10. Now here comes Kerry Mix with a nose job on the back of the 17. He'll take third place back again. Here's a battle for 7th between Brad Graham and Mark Dilley.
A whole gaggle of Dodges right there. You got Beauchamp, Dilley, and then the Challenger Motor Freight Dodge of Brad Graham.
Dilley does know this track well, taught at driving school here a number of years ago, and Graham body slams the 9 of Dilley as they head down the back straightaway and funnel through 3 and 4.
Oh, Joe Gonzalez down there in the bottom. He's going to be a pick if these guys can get side by side. Oh, J.R. Fitzpatrick, he's all over the back bumper of DJ Kennington.
Car's tucked right up underneath the back bumper, and you really have to be there, don't you, Billy, to capitalize on those mistakes that the driver in front of you may make.
Well, that's what we're seeing. Nobody's really hitting the guy in front of him to move him out of the way. It's just you check up. It's a domino effect. Mixie to the bottom underneath Brownie.
Brown slid up in corner 2, and now he's on the outside. He's going to get freight trained as Mix goes through for second. Kennington's going to follow through as well. And J.R. Fitzpatrick looks in, but Brown tries to slam the door. Little bumper job on the 10 as well as Brown slides up the hill. Now he tries to get back down on the inside groove, and he's still going to get pushed high.
Well, he overdrove the corner going into turn 3. He was trying to pinch Fitzpatrick down the bottom, and he overdrove the corner. It's going to cost him spots. Here comes Beauchamp. Dilly's looking in, and you can tell 19 Graham, if he can fill the hole, this is going to be a freight train.
Boy, Brown getting passed by all those lead lap cars as he just made one miscue. Now he finally gets back into line in front of the Challenger Motor Freight Dodge of Brad Graham, right behind the 9 of Mark Dilly. Back at the front of the field, still Don Thompson Jr. He is your leader with 189 laps to go out of a scheduled 250.
Well, Donnie's got it all his own way right now. Now he's got some clean racetrack. He'll put some distance on them guys. They're going to have to fight through the same lap traffic that he had to with that Home Hardware Chevrolet.
At the front is really the place to be. You look at the battling deep in the field. Don Thompson Jr. able to keep his nose clean, keep those fenders on the car, all too important here at Barrie.
Well, these little short bull rings, you'd rather be the hunted than the hunter, I'll tell you that.
Kerry Mix, definitely one of the more aggressive drivers early on. Now he gets crossways coming down the front straightaway. Under pressure from the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington.
Well, just watch these guys fight for a few laps. Short track ace, Kerry Mix, knows this racetrack almost as good as anybody. He's putting the pressure with that Ford of Kerry Mix.
You know, it's funny, as soon as they reconfigured, and Beauchamp goes through underneath the 9 for 5th place, so Beauchamp will move up a spot. They rub down the back straightaway going into corner number 3. I was just about to mention that Kerry Mix, as soon as they reconfigured this tri-oval, Mix was out here in a pickup truck before the asphalt had even cured.
This is great racing side by side. Dilly, knowing his way around, made it work on the outside. Beauchamp's going to have to work harder.
On board now with the Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp Jr. up behind the number 9 Dodge of Mark Dilly as they freight train in behind the 02 of Kerry Mix. This is a battle for second on back as Don Thompson in trouble up in corner number 2.
Well, it's a trio of cars. The Lapsovich was in there, Jacobs was in there, and that's 95 of Ronnie Lethbridge as well.
Well, Lethbridge, a veteran here at Barrie Speedway, trying to run a few CASCAR Super Series races in that Fuel Genie Dodge. Let's go down to Adam in the pits.
Kerry Mix hits the mark in his pit stall with a 2-time recycling Ford. They'll go to work changing right side tires and adding fuel on the O2 machine. He'll have to make up a lot of ground on the racetrack.
Oh, look, there's Peter Gibbons. He's coming in as well. That's a late pit stop for Peter.
And it looks like this may take him a lap down as well. So early trouble for the Canadian Tire Chevy of Peter Gibbons. Don Thompson Jr. continues to lead this one. We'll be back with more from Barrie Speedway. Welcome back to Barrie Speedway for the GoRacing.ca 250 feature event. Don Thompson Jr. brings his Home Hardware Chevy down to the green. We're back underway here on lap 79. DJ Kennington holds second, and J.R. Fitzpatrick now up to third.
Well, Don Thompson continues to be the man here. DJ's hunting him down, but I'll tell you what, look at that young fella, J.R. Fitzpatrick, right there in third place. And we have Peter Gibbons on pit road again as well.
Peter Gibbons made the long, slow haul down pit road, serving a stop and go for running over a hose on his pit stop. He'll get back to the racetrack, but losing further track position.
Boy, things going horribly wrong for the number 1 team here this afternoon early on.
Well, Peter's not used to struggling, but I'll tell you what, that's a championship team, and they will recover.
Beauchamp Jr. overcooks it going into 3, and that's going to open the door for Lapsovich as he pokes a nose. Beauchamp gathers it back up and starts to trek up towards the back bumper of Mark Dilly as he tries to gain some spots. You can see the battle through Beauchamp's window well at the front of the field. All the leaders now.
With these guys, they're running a pretty good pace. If you think you're using it up, we can let that 9 go.
Well, there's some good advice. That's the spotter telling young JR, if you're using the car up, let him go. And that's exactly what he's done. He knows this is a long race. Thompson's brother, that's Dennis Thompson, is his spotter. He's a good racer himself, and he just give that young man some excellent advice.
Well, you can see how one pass makes a huge difference. The top two cars of Thompson Jr. and another spin. It's the 09 of Kent Noon as he goes around in corner number 4 for a third time or second time here this afternoon. The rookie out of Williamsburg facing the wrong direction yet again here at Barrie Speedway.
Well, that's one used up race car.
Steckley's in the pits. Here's Adam.
The Herb Group Charger hits his pit box. Right side tires going on the car. They're also going to make a wedge adjustments. The wedge wrench into the right rear. They take 2 rounds out of the right rear. That should tighten the car up.
Pit stop's going to tighten the field towards the latter part of the GoRacing.ca 250 from Barrie. We'll be back. Welcome back to Barrie Speedway. The brand new Dodge Charger pace car wheels down pit lane. Don Thompson Jr. leads the field here at Barrie Speedway.
These side-by-side restarts are tough on the leaders. If you're running 6, you actually start 12th. You got to clear those lap cars, and the outside isn't quite broken in yet, so you really got to be careful not to get up out of the groove too far.
Well, taking a look at the logos rundown at the top of the screen, you see the 19th, Brad Graham, now well back in the field.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he went into the pit 7th. A little bit of a miscommunication between him, CASCAR, and his team. And now he sits 16th. That'll be hard to overcome. He is 1 lap down.
That's heartbreak for the Logos Dodge Charger. Graham, a very quick car at Barrie Speedway. Seemed to have this place figured out. Now how does this work cut out for him? As there's a good look at John Fitzpatrick in a backup car, that ladder crane Chevy. He went hard in the wall in practice.
Well, John really, he's had some bad luck over the last several years. He seems to crash hard when he crashes.
The 22 of Scott Steckley moving up into 7th now. You saw he made his pit stop, did a few wedge adjustments, changed some tires, seems to have the setup figured out on that 22. The Herb Group Charger going to the front.
Side by side down the backstretch into turn 3. The outside lane is starting to work.
Jason Hathaway, you got a good look at him. He's vying for Rookie of the Year honors here in the CASCAR Super Series this season. Don Thompson Jr., though, still your leader on board now with DJ Kennington in the Castrol Dodge.
Well, you're looking out the back at Mark Dilley, the local hero here at Barrie Speedway.
And you can see J.R. Fitzpatrick not too far behind him. And Ron Beauchamp Jr. tucked in behind the 84.
Well, I'll tell you can see parity here in CASCAR Racing. Early on, we see Mixie and the Ford up front. We got a couple of Chevrolets up front, and we got them awesome Mopars.
It's really good to see that all 3 brands well represented here at the front of the field. You like to see that. You know, Dodge has been very strong last year, winning the Manufacturers' Cup here in CASCAR Super Series for the first time. But it looks like Chevy is going to come back with a vengeance this year.
Well, young Kerry Mix there, he's the lone Ford contender that runs up front week in and week out. That's Dave Whitlock. He's dropping on the high side. They're racing for 8th and 9th.
Brand new sponsor for Whitlock this season, too, in the NTN Bauer Dodge Charger. As he tucks it behind the O2, back up near the front of the field. Here's the 17 of DJ Kennington.
Clear.
And we've mentioned a few times before, spotters all very important. And you can hear telling clear, clear on the inside. You want to know if there's a car down there, because if you pinch, there's an inside wall through 3 and 4, and it's going to make an awful mess.
Well, 14-second laps. You can tell this is a very fast racetrack. In 14 seconds, you got to hit your mark every time, or somebody will get the nose up underneath you and root you out of the way. We go on board with Ron Beauchamp in that Mopar Dodge. Him and his dad have been fighting electronic problems all weekend long. If you look up on the top right-hand side, that's the ignition box he's got up on the dash. And you can see that repair, the wiring with the tape wrapped around it. He's done some repairs over the weekend trying to overcome that gremlin.
A little electrical tape goes a long way in the CASCAR Super Series. Hopefully it holds together. Good look at Kerry Mix as he goes around John Fitzpatrick in a battle for 8th in the 2-time Recycling Disposal Services Ford. Part-time sponsor on the mixed Ford as Goes around the rookie candidate of Hathaway, and Hathaway gets into the back of the 25 of Lapsevich. Now it's 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Oh, Mixie drives it into turn 3 like he owns the joint, makes it stick, gets by both cars. What a veteran move.
Wow, he drove that in a ton and stuck it on the outside as Mixie now in clean air with the 14 of Fitzpatrick sliding back on the outside. On board now with Whitlock.
John gives him a little root job coming off the corner. Must have got a little rub from Witt on the way through. Just going to tell him, didn't appreciate it. I'm on my second car.
Tag, you're in here at Barrie Speedway. That's how it's played. As a good look at Lapsevich, Hathaway, and Whitlock battling nose to tail. The 11 of Van Ness ducks to the inside, lets the faster cars go around, and there it is again. Fitzpatrick back into the back bumper of the 39 Dodge, and Whitlock now some nose damage on that Charger.
Well, Davey's been fighting hard all day long. You see all that nose damage, adds a whole new meaning to it. If you can't dodge it, ram it.
And the cream rises to the top with Don Thompson Jr. starting to work his way through the field. Going around the outside of Kent Noon.
We're in heavy traffic now. The spotters are ultra important. You can hear the spotter talking to their drivers there. Clear inside, car inside. You gotta listen to them.
Kennington looking for some bite up on the outside. Doesn't seem to have it as good as some of the other cars. Kennington slides as soon as he gets up into that high groove as they work some lap traffic.
While Don Thompson Jr. just on a mission. We talked in the opening about him being consistent. What he's doing today, Dave, is consistently putting good cars a lap down.
One of those good cars, his boss, the 14 of John Fitzpatrick, as he wheels to the inside, lets Don Thompson Jr. take to the outside lane and put a lap down on the 14 and trouble in 2.
Kent Noon in the 09 goes around. Must have got some contact there. That's his second or third trip around backwards today.
Looks like some damage to the rear of that Jim Bray Trailers 09 as Noon finds a gear as we go to the Mopar replay.
Well, that's on board with young Van Ness and Whoop. He got help from Van Ness to go around backwards.
Boy, those two have had it out all day long, and pit stops now for all the leaders. Thompson, Kennington, Dilly, J.R. Fitzpatrick in there as well. Brown will make a stop, and Ron Beauchamp Jr.
Some new faces going to work on the Home Hardware Chevrolet as they'll change right tires and add fuel to Don Thompson's machine. The DJ Kennington crew also doing 2 tires on the right side and fuel. Neither of the front 2 making a chassis adjustment on their machines, but Mark Dilly could beat the leaders out. Mark Dilly out second.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Dodge boys continue to be one of the fastest pit crews on pit road.
But we've got a brand new leader. Scott Steckley leads the GoRacing.ca 250 from Barrie Speedway. We'll return with more. And we're back at Barrie Speedway as we continue round 1 of the CASCAR Super Series. Green flag back up with the new leader, Scott Steckley, in the 22.
Well, he's enjoying this view up front. Nothing in the windshield, but clean racetrack.
A lot of the leaders made pit stops, and that tightened the field dramatically. Some made pit stops early, including Steckley. You saw Mix in the pits a little bit earlier on, and Whitlock as well.
Well, Dave, a lot of side-by-side racing there as the lead lap cars try and get by those lap cars so they can get a shot at that man, Scott Steckley.
Probably most importantly, the nose of Scott Steckley absolutely spotless. He's worked his way up through traffic without putting a nose on anybody. A very clean race car, so he's definitely kept the wheels underneath him.
Well, a lot of new things today. New car, new crew chief, and a new deal. Leading races here in CASCAR.
Pretty beat up Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp Jr. as he tucks in behind the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington, all chasing the 4 of Don Thompson Jr., who led a good number of laps early on. Now he's mired back in traffic.
Oh, they're on fresh rubber and ready to go. Donnie will just pick his way through here. Here, we're on board with Ron Beauchamp Jr. down the backstretch. Watch him mark it into the corner. Nice high in, across. Oh, careful that lap car in the bottom, Ronnie.
And Beauchamp Jr. still trying the outside to get around the lap car of Kent Noon, holding down 6th spot towards the end of this GoRacing.ca 250. Battle at the front, though, as Kerry Mix tries to get underneath the surprisingly lapped car of Peter Gibbons.
Well, as I said earlier, Peter Gibbons battling at the first of the year, but he's a championship contender. He'll get that car sorted out and get back competitive. Oh, Mixie in too hot, gets loose going in. He's going to lose several spots. There goes Whitlock at the bottom. Whitlock is trying to take second place.
Boy, Kerry Mix has been using the high line to pick up a lot of spots through this race. That time it didn't work. Slid up the hill, and Mix trying to battle back a little bumper to the 39 of Dave Whitlock as they continue to battle down the front straightaway.
He's there.
That's Susan Mix calling the shots for her husband, Kerry.
Ford coming on your inside.
And here comes Don Thompson Jr. as well up underneath the 02 of Kerry Mix. Battle for third now.
Mixie's got that outside working, Dave. He's battling back on the outside. Oh, contact with the 19 as they head for turn 3. Thompson's going to dive underneath him to steal the spot. Mixie's still tough on the outside.
Boy, that rub seemed to ruin the momentum that Mix had, but he can dive it hard into 3, harder than anybody else can on the outside. Look at that, he picks up a spot round the 4 of Don Thompson Jr., but there's traffic all around him.
Oh, he's setting his sights on Whitlock. He's going to try and pin him behind the lap car. Stackley continues to lead. This is his 82nd career CASCAR start.
He's had 15 top 5s, but he's yet to taste the champagne in victory lane in the CASCAR Super Series. Adams in his pit.
Well, Craig Gibson, all new Dodge equipment for Scott. It's been a while since he's been up front, but he's leading the race now. Has he had much to say?
Not a whole lot. Just keep telling him what he's doing wrong and keep him in line.
Well, so far, not a whole lot going wrong for Scott Steckley. It's been a great run for his new Dodge Charger.
Well, you see why these guys are a match made in heaven. Steckley doesn't say anything. The crew chief doesn't say anything. They do their talking on the racetrack.
Absolutely. Radio chatter must be very, very quiet on that team as a huge gaggle of cars comes down the front straightaway. Whitlock in front of the 02 of Kerry Mix. And there comes Mark Dilley up on the inside following another Dodge, the Logos Charger of Brad Graham, who's a lap down.
Well, business is picking up, as they say, as Mixie dive bombs down the bottom. DJ's got to check out. Thompson hums her around the outside. Contact again. DJ puts the horn to Mix.
Contact, that's payback down the back straightaway as they head through 3 and 4 side by side. Back down the front chute they go. Looks like Kerry Mix has got the spot. Dave Whitlock overcooks it in corner 1 and 2. Locks that right front tire, and he's sliding all over the place. Mix is pushing him through 3 and 4, and Dave Whitlock goes around in corner number 4.
Caution's out. Dave Whitlock in the 39 goes around off the horn at 02 Kerry Mix.
Flagman Sean Gibb waves the yellow yet again here at Barrie Speedway in the GoRacing.ca 250 Mopar replay.
Inside, clear. Inside. Hang on, buddy. Hang on. Inside. Oh, hold up. You're around.
Around. Dave already knew he was around. The spotter made an error there. He called it clear the second time and then changed his mind. It was too late.
Back into the pits goes Peter Gibbons, says we'll return. Scott Steckley is your leader at the GoRacing.ca 250. Welcome back to Barrie Speedway in the heart of Ontario Cottage Country. I'm Dave Bradley along with Billy Rouse Jr. Adam Ross is handling the pits as we go for restart number 6 after Dave Whitlock's spin. Look who's trying to get his lap back.
Well, Whit's down there in the bottom trying to get that lap back. He's going to be second on the racetrack, but he is a lap down.
Boy, Scott Steckley strong on the outside on that restart. Jumps out in front. Now Whitlock is holding up his teammate.
Oh, and Dilly gives the boss a little bit of a horn job there. No harm, no foul.
Battle for third now between DJ Kennington and Kerry Mix. Kennington has it. Mix wants it as they work lap traffic down on the inside of the 19 of Brad Graham. And there's your early leader and perennial championship favorite, Don Thompson Jr., as he continued to work his way through traffic.
Well, with 60-plus laps to go, Don Thompson's going to have to be very patient to keep the fenders and the nose on that Monte Carlo to get to the front.
You can take a look at the front of Whitlock's car, find out how quickly things happen as his car looking fairly beat up. Kennington trying to hold the 02 at bay as the Ford Taurus jumps to the high side once again.
Now we get a good look out the back of DJ's car back there to Kerry. Kerry can turn the bottom of the corner a lot better than DJ right now, but can he get the power down off the corner? He's in there having a look. can't get it done this time by.
Should be a totally different scene when we come back here in July, as corner number 4 is going to be raced in the banking. New owner Steve St. Onge doing a lot of work. In trouble down the back straightaway. Another caution. Kent Noon and Ron Lethbridge hard into the inside wall.
Boy, they're just not having a good day today, are they? That Noon car, that's the 3rd or 4th incident for him, and that car's messed up.
That's a tore-up piece of machinery as Noon will try to refire and head to the pits. Adam Ross now on the radio with your leader, Scott Steckley.
Scott, this is Adam Ross from the CASCAR TV crew. Can you copy?
Yeah, I copy.
Quite a switch over to the Dodge Power this 2006 season. Tell us about the run so far.
The Dodge Power's working pretty good. The car's handling real good. We just got to hold off these guys behind us for the last 50 or 60 laps.
Well, best of luck to you, Scott. So far, so good in the 2006 season.
Thanks a lot.
Well, Scotty's done everything right today in that brand new Mike McCall chassis. It's a great race car. Got that Beauchamp motor, and he's taking it to the front.
Taking a look at the Heidi's RV Superstore race summary, we've only had 2 leaders, Steckley being one of them. Thompson led for the first number of laps. 6 cautions slowed the race down for 57 laps. The fastest lap of the race so far coming in the hands of J.R. Fitzpatrick. A little bit of a surprise as we get set for a restart. Steckley with the lap car of Dane Whitlock on the inside, coming out of 4. Green flags in the air, and we're back underway.
Well, you got a trio of Dodges up front with there. You got Steckley, Dilly, and DJ Kennington in the top 3.
And Steckley again gets a good jump with Whitlock holding up Dilly just enough to stretch out a little bit of a lead. 42 laps to go this time by.
Even the lap cars are still fast, Dave. You got Whitlock, he's a top running car, but he's a lap down. Brad Graham in the 19, he's pretty quick, but he's a lap down, but they're trying to stay in contention in case something happens up front.
Kerry Mix once again working his way up through the field on the outside as you see Derek Lynch in the Burns RS 77 had a quick car early on, fell back in the field, and lots of damage on that 60 car. As you look, it's starting to get a little bit used up as Beauchamp Jr. tries to work his way up through the field.
Well, you see in the inside there, that's Dave Jacobs in the Lou's Barbecue number 88. He's had a tough day, but he's very, very consistent.
And just as I mentioned, Beauchamp getting a used up race car, more damage to the nose of that 60 Mopar Dodge. Still your leader, Scott Steckley, and he's running away from him. Dilly is losing touch.
Well, Scott Steckley continues to hit his mark very consistently and stretches that lead out over Mark Dilly. Oh, Beauchamp into the back of the 88 Lou's Barbecue Sauce. The hood up over the windshield. Holy smokes.
And Beauchamp still in it now on board with the 60 car. You can look at that hood. Billy, does that affect your vision?
Well, it does on the right-hand side, but race car drivers all look out that bottom left-hand side. He can still see where he's going.
And he's still hitting his marks, but he's going to see this black flag being displayed for the Mopar Dodge. So Ron Beauchamp Jr. will have to report to the pits to get that hood removed. CASCAR saying that's not all that safe.
CASCAR deems that dangerous to the safety of the other drivers, so they're going to pull him down pit road. They'll have to remove that damaged fiberglass as Don Thompson Jr. goes to the outside.
And here comes Beauchamp Jr. reporting to the pits. Thompson Jr. goes on the outside, back on board with Beauchamp. We'll watch the crew go to work as that hood will have to get pulled off.
Well, things have gone from bad to worse for the Mopar-sponsored Ron Beauchamp. The body damage got worse when the hood flipped up in front of the windshield, blinding much of his vision of the racetrack.
Well, Coulion and crew went to work, got all that fiberglass pulled off, but he's going to go lap down. Oh, Derek Lynch is around backwards coming off of turn 4. The caution's out again.
So the caution slows the field yet again, and heavy damage to the Burns RS Dodge Charger of Derek Lynch. You can see the nose nearly torn off, right front tire down. So we'll get their field reset. We'll be back with more from Barrie Speedway. Welcome back to the GoRacing.ca 250 from Barrie Speedway. Scott Steckley in the 22 is your leader. Second place, right behind him is Mark Dilly. The 19 of Brad Graham, and the Challenger Motor Freight number 19 is a lap down.
Well, there you go. He overcooked it into turn 1, slid up a little bit. That's the 9 of Mark Dilley on the outside. 17, DJ Kennington goes around off of turn 4.
And Kennington tried as he might to save that, lit up the rear tires, but couldn't. So Kennington, the end of a really good run as he was up in 3rd spot right behind Mark Dilley, goes around likely on the nose of someone. The 02 and Kennington were pretty bottled up back there. We'll get another look at it on the Mopar replay.
Down into turn 3, the nose to tail. DJ could have checked up. Mixie whacks him. He throttles it. Around he goes.
Did he ever try and save that coming off before? Now in the pits goes Kennington to get a new left rear tire, and he's being held. Kennington's going a lap down.
Well, that's unfortunate. We'll have another look at it from up here. There you go. Kennington around. No, he didn't check up. Mixie whacks him coming off of turn 4, and around he goes.
Kerry Mix decided it was time to go, and he went. Kennington didn't, and that's the result. But Kennington now falling well back in the running order. A lap down, your leader, Scott Steckley, still at the front of this field as we take green for the restart. Brad Graham pushes him up the hill. Graham's a lap down, and this is going to hurt Steckley.
He's being aggressive for a lap car. That's 2 restarts in a row where he's locked up the tires going in the corner and moved the leader or the second place car up. Steckley's battling hard trying to get through there. Don Thompson Jr. down in the bottom. He's taking a look.
8 laps to go now with Don Thompson Jr. in a battle for 3rd as he goes up underneath the 0-2 of Kerry Mix. Mix has been solid on the high side. Looks for bite, can't find it. Thompson gets the spot. Up into 3rd goes the Home Hardware Chevy.
Young J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's taking no prisoners either. He gives the chrome horn to Mixie. He moves him up and out of the way.
We heard J.R. Fitzpatrick's spotter telling him to be patient early in the race. Now's not the time to be patient. Just a handful of laps to go in the GoRacing.ca 250. Still well up in the running orders, that Napa Chevy of Doug Brown. A solid qualifying effort. And now he's doing well in the race as well as Kennington. Looking to go yet another lap down as Steckley painting his back bumper.
Well, DJ had to serve a penalty for some pit infraction. Now he's out in front of the leader. Hopefully Steckley can get through here in a hurry and not be penalized in what he's doing, trying to get away from Mark Dilley. Dilley's moving in fast.
Dilley, as he ever went hard, braked into corner number 1, right up to the back bumper of that Herb Group Dodge Charger of Scott Steckley. Now Steckley wants to go as John Fitzpatrick makes a quick pit stop in the late running here at Barrie Speedway.
Dilley's taking a look on the bottom, nibbling in that left rear corner, that 22 Herb Group Dodge.
Just can't get a good run up underneath the lap car. Trouble for Doug Brown. Caution is going to fly. Brown with heavy damage to the front end of that Napa Auto Pro Chevy. But Brown finds a gear, stays on the lead lap, thankfully for him.
Let's go on board here with Ron Beauchamp Jr. We're heading down into the corner. Brownie just gets down. He clips the left rear of Mixie and goes around.
Inside of 10 laps to go. Lap cars behind the 6 lead lap cars left here at Barrie Speedway. Scott Steckley will lead him out of 4 once again. 3 laps to go as we take green in the GoRacing.ca 250.
This is going to be wild, Dave. Our spotters are telling us there's oil and even an axle on the racetrack. Fitzpatrick gets into it and goes around. The 9 Mark Dilley, the second place car, is around backwards, sliding in the oil.
Don Thompson Jr. may have got into the back of him as everybody looked for traction up in corner 1 and 2, and Dilley rubs off Fitzpatrick. Going through 4 as we're yet again under caution.
Well, Dave will look at the Mopar replay down into turn 1. Fitzpatrick Jr. slides up in the oil. Dilley spins the tires. Donnie Thompson's got nowhere to go but to get in the back of him, and Dilley goes around.
And there's that axle as we reported in corner number 1, the reason for the caution with the fluid down in 1 and 2.
And there's Giulio Montanari. That's Dilley's crew chief, pleading his case with CASCAR, trying to get his spot back based on oil on the racetrack, and the caution was already out.
Boy, you can see Dilley looking around in the field, bearing down on him as he looked the wrong way. Now a green-white checker with Scott Steckley, your leader. Don Thompson Jr. right in behind him. 3 laps to go. J.R. Fitzpatrick rounds out the top 3. Late going here at Barrie Speedway. Steckley is stout off that restart.
All he's got to do is hit his marks, don't look in the mirror, and just get the job done.
2 laps to go now for Scott Steckley, still looking for his first ever CASCAR Super Series victory. And Doug Brown holding off a hard-charging number 9 of Mark Dilley. You gotta think he's going to be incensed under the collar.
Absolutely. J.R. Fitzpatrick's going to follow the team car, Home Hardware Chevrolet at Don Thompson, wherever he goes. This could be a great 2-3 finish for the Home Hardware and the Milwaukee Tools Chevrolets.
Down to the stripes, Steckley wins his first in the CASCAR Super Series, followed by Don Thompson Jr. and J.R. Fitzpatrick. what the crew celebrates in the Steckley pit here at Barrie Speedway. Scott Steckley from Milverton, Ontario, exercises his rights to do donuts here at Barrie Speedway. This 1/3 mile was gracious enough to host round number 1 of the CASCAR Super Series. Lots of local racing took to the track throughout the weekend. 22 CASCAR late models lined up and fired up for this 250-lap affair. When the green flag flew, it was all Don Thompson as he led the way with an eager Doug Brown in tow. The home hardware machine directed traffic while others fought their way through. Crews were at the ready for tires and fuel. Steckley's strategy to pit early paid off for the Europe Group racer. Clean air was all he needed this day, while other top runners ran afoul late, trying to dig and claw their way to the front. At the end, it was all 22 racing as Steckley and the team picked up their first ever CASCAR Super Series win. Scott Steckley is pulled into the Dodge winner's circle here at Barrie Speedway. Took him 82 starts, but he has finally won in the CASCAR Super Series. He's standing by with our very own Adam Ross.
Well, Scott, this has to be the biggest win of your career. Tell us about the weekend.
Oh, it's been great. I just got to thank all my crew. All winter we worked hard, built this new car, new motors. Just the crew, we've worked all winter very, very hard. I got to thank all my sponsors, my wife, my kids for putting up with me. It's been great. Just got to thank everybody.
Well, a huge win for Scott Steckley and his Dodge, and all that Mopar bonus money will definitely help him get to St. Eustache.
St. Eustache, the second event on the 2006 CASCAR schedule, as Don Thompson Jr. comes home second. J.R. Fitzpatrick, his teammate, holding down third. Good finish for Doug Brown, his best ever Super Series finish. DJ Kennington, a disappointing 11th. And Jason Hathaway, the rookie, coming home with a top 20 finish in his first start in the CASCAR Super Series. Now down with Adam.
Well, Don, a second place finish and the points lead is yours now, but tell us what happened the second half of the race. You were the car to beat for half of it.
Well, the traffic out there is worse than the 400 going home. It was really brutal. You know, lap cars were giving everybody a really hard time. You know, feel really bad for Mark Dilley at the end. Didn't clean up the oil in that corner. We went into the corner and everybody got into it and tapped him in the back. Sorry to him and his whole crew. Didn't mean to do it. Hardly a mark on the home hardware Chevy, but it was a good run for the home team.
Don Thompson Jr., CASCAR Super Series points leader.
That's right, Don Thompson Jr. does lead as we take a look at the Castrol point standing. Scott Steckley with the win is in second. Doug Brown up there in the points early on, holding down third. And J.R. Fitzpatrick holding solidly in fourth. He's with our Adam Ross.
J.R., third place finish, a good day, but you used a lot of race car to get there.
You know what? It's really surprising because I didn't use that much race car. The Milwaukee Electric Tools Rolling Thunder car was working really good today. I was really patient with Donnie. I swear he's awesome. I love following him. Him and I both did real good together. I'm glad we're starting to get working together. We just ran out of time, you know, and there's some drivers out there who really need to smarten up. It's a short track. It's a long race, and they just kept going at it, but we got through it. So looking forward. Fitzpatrick Motorsports is going to be good the next race.
Solid way to start the season for JR.
And there we're back in winner's circle, and Scott Steckley about to get his big trophy from GoRacing.ca's Corinne Belanger and track owner Brad Moran.
A huge win for Scott Steckley and crew here at Barrie Speedway. The GoRacing.ca 250 is brought to you by Castrol GTX, maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. By Whelan Engineering. By Mechanics Wear, the tool that fits like a glove. And by Fast Eddie Racewear. Get geared up.
There's our top three showing off their hardware. A hard-fought day here at Barrie Speedway.
Next race on the 2006 CASCAR Super Series schedule, St. Eustache. We'll see you then.